Hey everybody, so I have another technique for you. It's great for making odd pieces of geometry, sometimes like a garden path or something maybe like your launch pad. You want the arm to be kind of cool and curved and you're not 100% sure how to start. This tool is found under the Mesh menu, which is odd because most of the things you start with are under the Create, but down here we have a tool called the Create Polygon tool. Okay, it does have some options, but you can explore those. I would just use the base version for now. And in my case, what I'm going to do is I'm just basically going to create something with a base about this wide, kind of comes up and has like a curved arm. You know, you could make it from extruding planes and such, but this might work out really well. All you need to do once you get it, once you're in it, is basically just start clicking. And as you're clicking, we want to make the distribution of faces as even as possible. Because as always, our polygon construction works best when, just make it like right there, the faces are about the same size. So in this case, two things I'm looking to do is basically rough out the basic shape, and I always want to make sure that there's a pair of vertices so I can square them up later on for making quads. That'll make sense in a second. Don't need to, but it'll make your life a lot easier. So anyway, let's say this was the shape. So I can hit enter and put shaded on. And there you go. So what I have here now is this is basic n-gon shape. Okay. If we go into faces mode, it's only one big face. So we need to kind of cut this thing apart. So what I'm going to suggest we do is go down to polygon display and, well, let me go back to the object level first. Polygon display and toggle on the vertices. This way, when I use the split poly tool, I'll just be able to see where the polygons are, because the split poly tool, particularly the interactive one, will snap to the centers as well, and that's just going to make life more difficult. So in this case, I'm just going to click from each one of these vertices and then right click to get off. So I'm left clicking and then right click so I can start a new one. Right click and right click to get off. Okay, so now hit Q to get out of the tool. So what I have now is this oddly shaped polygonal object, and it's great. It's quads. It would, if that's what I wanted, I could smooth it and do that with it. Let's say we wanted to extrude this. This is going to be like a funky arm to our launcher or something. So you might want to just mess with it a little bit at first. You might even, go into a view like this and just grab this and do something like this. Make the profile a little bit rounder. Like that, we can rotate these guys so we can get like a better view of them. Something like that. Grab this. I'm going to come in down here like this. And maybe the base kind of comes out. Maybe even with the base we'll just grab X and just sort of pop those guys so that they exist right on that line if I get to them. Just like that. Alright. So we'll go back into here, go to object mode, and we'll go to there. Alright, so let's grab the object and go to faces mode. Grab our faces, shift right click, and extrude. So now we have the ability, we'll just go in here, and clearly I have lots of faces, so I can make a crazy curved wall or something like that. In my case, I just want this. Clearly I don't want the 10 faces, but that's okay. I'm just going to go into the channel editor, go to my extrude, and turn off the 10 sections, the divisions. I'll just make them 0, and then I'm back down to that. So as usual, you may have a setting, and that's probably what my extrude tool is set to. It's probably set to some strange division in here, like 13. So just for the future, what I'll probably do is just set that back to 1 so I don't have that. But even if I did, I could go into the stack and make that change right there. So now I have this kind of hip object. If I hit smooth on it, it'll get all squirrely, but that's because I'm missing the edge loops, which we can put in. So you must be very aware of edge loops by this point. So we can totally put some edge loops in here. Oops, I don't want that one. Kind of want something like this for the bottom. Maybe something like this for the top. And we could put them on this side as well if we wanted to, if we wanted to really have this thing sort of squared up. Alrighty. And let's take this back to object mode and smooth it. So now we got this bizarre and mildly interesting looking piece of geometry. And you might do something with it. You might extrude down the faces in the middle. You could do that. There's all sorts of stuff you could do. At this point, the idea for this tool that I wanted you guys to get was that there's so many different tools inside of Maya, and as you start to learn them all, I think you'll get a real sense of what you can do and what you can't do. And I'm going to hit G, and we'll extrude that down a little bit. Hit G, extrude that down even further. Oops, now it's going to be funky. Let's do this. Grab that and bring it down. And hit G one more time. And bring it down so I get just a bit of a base. Alright? So now I got this. Hit 3. And now we got that. So that could be kind of cool. And again, if we want to be square that in the middle, all we need to do is put in the proper edge loops, because we just don't have them there. So go in here again, edge loop, and then do something like this, and something like this. Hit Q, go to object mode, hit 3. That might be something in the vein that you were looking for. Maybe not, it's a little funky looking. And my vertices are still on, so I'm going to shift right click on the polygon display and toggle the vertices, and now this is what you're used to looking at. Alright, so the Create Poly tool works for garden paths, works for strange pieces of applique on armor. There's all sorts of things you can do with it. Hopefully that was helpful. Take care, guys.